crafters, and welcome to Creative Moments by G. I'm G, and guess what time it is? It's Paper Pumpkin time! April 2023, All the Little Things, has some fantastic flowers and leaves in it. And in addition, it gives you this wonderful organizer that you can use for all kinds of things. Now, I have 10 alternatives to show you that Maude and I created. Oh my goodness, we love this kit. But first, we're going to make 2 cards together. So let's head down to the crafting table and let's get started. Now, before we begin our cards, I want to show you this adorable organizer kit. And I also want to tell you that we accidentally got 2 kits. I don't know, we somehow ordered 2 kits. So we are going to give this extra kit to a lucky winner. You need to join us on our YouTube Live May 4th, Thursday at 7 p.m. and chat with my sister Maude. At the end of our show, we are going to select one lucky winner to receive this kit. And let me tell you, you will be so happy because it's a fantastic kit. Just to give you an idea of some of the things that they included, we have flowers with this beautiful metallic on it. We have leaves, look at that, so pretty. We also have stamps. Let me show you what the stamps look like. Look at these fantastic sentiments that we have. We have this branch, we have some speckles, so many things to create beautiful cards. Our first card is going to be an interesting card. It's just a flat base, which is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Now, I want to remind you that the dimensions for some of these will be listed below this video in the description, and I'll let you know which ones will have a link to our video that shows you exactly how to make it. But that's at the end of this tutorial. So your first one, we are going to go ahead and put our inside mat right down because really it's going to end up being our focal point, one of our focal points of this card. This is a very simple card, but it uses some beautiful pop-outs that they give you with the kit. So we have this one. And now let me show you what we did. We simply took a first mat and we used our die and we cut this out. Now, this is retiring, so you may have another die, just any die that you want, because we wanted to create kind of a lattice effect. And we are going to put this down right here on the front of our card, just like this. So let's go ahead and lay that down. Now, it's kind of hard to get the glue on the lattice, so there's lots of ways you can do that. You can just put a few little dots like this, or you can get your Nouveau pen, bring in a piece of scrap paper, and just run over your lattice just like that, and that will glue it down to your card. We really like to use our Nouveau pen for that very reason. So let's go ahead and bring this back in and lay it down on our card. Now the next thing we want to do is we use those leaves that I showed you. We are going to put those right here, and then we're going to cut out a frame. So let's get these lined up. See how we cut them? Right on this mat. So let's just go ahead and get some repositional tape because I want to be able to pull this back up. So I'm just going to get a little bit of tape. Get it centered again right where I want it. And now I'm going to bring in this frame. Now I am cutting this oval part out and I'm going to put a frame over it. I've already cut the frame out. It's a beautiful stitched die. So I want this centered. Let me just get some of our tape. We love this purple tape. Really comes up and does not tear your paper. So I think that's about where I want it. And now I'm just going to run this through our embossing machine. And the reason I put this with repositional tape is I need that cut out just like that, so it fits really nicely underneath our frame. We're just going to pop that out. Now you can actually save this piece for another card. So let's put that to the side. And look at that. Oh my goodness, it's starting to take shape. Now, you know, that's exactly where I want it. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a little bit of glue underneath it. You could have glued it down before, but I thought I might want to move it, but I don't. So I'm just going to get some glue and get those glued down. Okay. And now look at what I did. I took one of those punched out mats that they give you in the kit, and I'm going to place this right here. Look at that. But I'm going to put it up on dimensionals. But before I do that, I want to stamp my message right here. So I need to get a pencil so that I know exactly where I can stamp it. So I'm just very lightly going to draw a line right here, just so I know where I want to stamp my message. Okay, I'm going to open this up, and I am using Enjoy Your Day. And I'm going to stamp that in Night of Navy because I like the rich tone that Night of Navy is. It appears black once you stamp it, but it just stamps so cleanly for us. Now I want to make sure I don't go up too high, so I need it about right there. Right there. Tap, tap, tap. And close this and really get it lined up. And look at that. Now I need to come in and get that erased. And we like to use this Mono. It's a Tombow plastic eraser. Really does a good job erasing our pencil lines. Look at that. Now I'm going to go ahead and lay down my frame because we want these leaves to go over the frame. Oh, this is so pretty. Okay. We're just going to push that down. And now I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back of this because I want it to set up right on top of that frame. So you want to make sure that you grab this corner right here and you get a dimensional there in all the corners that you can. And now I'm just going to take the backing off. Okay, and let's get this laid down. Now I am staying on this mat that we laid down on the top of the card. Get that lined up, all those corners. And look at this card. I love this card. I love how it overlays. If you wanted to, you could cut that off, but I really like that sticking right inside the inside of the frame. Love this lattice here. You open it up, you have plenty of room to write. Let's move on to our second card. Now, our second card is a fun fold, and it's a flap. It has a flap that goes over. So on this particular card, I will post the measurements for this over on our website under my blog. And that address is creativemomentsbyg.com, and you will have the measurements for this one. But this is simply a 5.5 by 6.5 inch card, and it is scored at 4 1/4. So this is just half of the card. Then we have a smaller piece, and this is 3.5 by 3 1/4, and it's scored at 2 3/4. So we just have this little bitty flap right here. You're also going to need just your normal size mat for the inside, and we're going to need our panels for these little pieces. So I will have all those measurements for you over on my blog. But let's go ahead and get this laid down, because you want to make sure and lay this one down before you put this mat on the inside. So let's just put a little bit of glue right here. You can use your tape runner if you want to. I'm just putting a little bit of glue so I can wiggle it if I feel a need to. So I'm just going to center this right here. Make sure it's right up against the edge. And now I'm going to lay down my mat on the inside. Now we're going to lay down these panels. Look at this. This is our basket weave that we have. That's what we call it. And it's a retired embossing folder, but this is one of our very favorites. We are never getting rid of this one. So you can use whatever embossing folder that you have. You don't need this one. But if you are lucky enough to have this one, keep it. It's so pretty. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and just lay this down. This is a 3D embossing folder, so you really need to get the glue down in those crevices. And now we're going to decorate. Look at this beautiful flower that they included with the kit. Isn't that gorgeous? It's a branch with some flowers. We are going to put this right here so that it actually creates like a little border right there. It goes over the card. I really like that. So go ahead and get that exactly the way you want it when you're making your card. I think I'll put mine like right here, and I can cut this off just a little bit, and I'm going to glue this down onto this strip right here. So I can see where I need to glue it, just a little bit here and right here. You don't want to accidentally glue your card shut, right? So be mindful of where you need to put this glue. And see, we don't have any glue right here. And now just bring in your scissors and you can snip this off. And I'm going to snip it off right on our first mat. Okay. Now we have cut 3 circles, and you know the colors that they want you to use are Poppy Parade, Calypso Coral, Petal Pink, Balmy Blue, and so we tried to use those colors as we were creating our designs. So let's go ahead and add some dimensionals, put these on top of each other, and I'm going to stamp my little message right here. I'm going to go ahead and stamp "Enjoy Your Day." Tap, tap, tap. Gonna bring in our dimensionals. Take the backing off. Add it to the center of this circle, and now we're going to add some dimensionals on our sentiment and add it to the top. Now all we have to do is put this right in the center. Now you can move it over here or you can put it in the center. Oh my goodness, it's all so pretty. I think I'm going to move mine over just a little bit. Now I'm going to put glue on this. I'm not going to bump it up anymore because I already have it bumped up quite a bit on the circle. So just get your glue and remember, don't put it all the way because you don't want to close your card. And I'm centering it top and bottom. Just hold that down for a second. Now, they also give you these cute little flower pop-outs. So I'm going to add just a few of those. And remember, this is, like I said, a 3D embossing folder, so you really have to hold it down for it to grab these circles. And another thing you could do is you could go in with your bone folder and really push it down so that glue adheres to that raised area. And now I'm just going to put maybe... And I'm not going to put any flowers on this because I think once you open it up, I want this to be the focal point. Look at those flowers. So now we have this fantastic fun fold. Look at these. Take a moment, let us know which of the two cards we just made is your favorite. Do you like this fun fold or do you like this overlay on top of our frame? Oh my goodness, I love them both. But let's move on and let me show you the additional alternatives that we made. Now look at this card. We took our border dies and we created this border. We added the pop-out flowers on dimensionals. We embossed the front of their card and we added thanks. Now this thanks comes from another paper pumpkin because we really felt like we needed a sentiment that was large and just went all the way across. And so that did it. Now when we cut out these borders, look at what happened. We had some pieces left over, so we just added that to the inside of the card. Love this one too. I mean, you could lay this flat on the card if you want to, but bumping it up on dimensionals, I think just gives it that extra height that makes it so pretty. Now, what do you do when you don't have any flowers left? You don't have anything left in the kit. Well, you take the pop-outs and you use them as stencils. And you can see that I have lined this circle with Post-it notes so it doesn't get on the card. I went in and I added those circles to the front of a card. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but I used a lot of pressure on this Poppy Parade, and then I just lightened it up right here. Not as much pressure, but it's still Poppy Parade. I went ahead and put all the circles on my base card, and then I came in with some vellum, and I embossed. This is embossed black, and then I stamped the branches. And I stamped the branches in Old Olive and I sprinkled clear embossing powder and I embossed them. Just gives it I don't know, such a pretty, elegant card. Really like how when you don't have anything left in the kit, what are you going to do? Do this. Use them as stencils. Now look at this card. We decided to do a diagonal card. This is the card from the kit. We embossed this. This is their sentiment. And we simply cut this pop out on a diagonal cut. Now what this allowed us to do is actually make 2 cards. How great is that? So we just added this to white and this one to green. Let us know below, which do you like better? I kind of think the white pops just a little more than the green because there's more of a contrast. Now this one is the card that they gave us. It's a top fold, but we used our stencil. We used our die to cut this stencil out, and we stenciled on the top of it with Poppy Parade. We added the beautiful arrangement that they gave us. And then we just took this from another stamp set because we really needed a skinny sentiment to go across the bottom. But we love how that turned out. And we had to do a floating card, right? So we will link below the directions on how to do this floating card because we have a YouTube that shows you how to do it. But look at that one. Oh my goodness, we used their flower, their little banner that they included, their leaves, and we used their speckles that they gave us. We love this card too. This kit makes such beautiful cards already, but to be able to make these alternatives, we just love it. Now look at this beautiful card. We used the flowers that they gave us in the kit. We simply embossed a white card. We used their stamp. We added their little flowers, and we have a card ready to go. Love this. Just use any embossing folder that you have to create that beautiful background. Here we have another card that we have created before, so we will link below this video the YouTube that you can go to. And look at that. So pretty. We embossed. You know, when you don't use pattern paper or DSP, embossing your paper just creates really such interest in your card that you don't even need DSP. And we added some beautiful gems here. Once again, this is what they provided to us in the kit. Love those flowers. We had to bring in a little party card. Look at this. We used our fringe. Again, that is a die that we purchased in one of the new stamp sets from Stampin' Up. And we used our stencil again. We used our die cut to cut that out and just stencil over it. Here's the flowers that they gave us in the kit. Such a fun card. We love this fringe. And finally, we just had to do this one. We will link below the YouTube video that you can see on how to make this card. But look at those flowers. Oh, just beautiful. And once again, we did bring in a little DSP here, but that is just embossed, these little areas. So you could very easily just emboss this too. We used their stamp and created this 3D fun fold. Well, what do you think about our alternatives? We had so much fun creating them. We want to remind you, if you want to be in the running for that free paper pumpkin kit, join us on May 4th at 7 p.m. Mountain Time on our YouTube Live, because we are going to give it to some lucky winner who is chatting with Maude. This is a fantastic set. And then to get that organizer in addition, just wonderful. So go out, make it a wonderful crafting day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.